Beloved, hear me. You are not imagining things. When you see executive orders, policies, rollbacks, hate-filled rhetoric, and you feel that gut punch of fear, it's real. When your heart aches because you see rights being stripped away, protections being dismantled, and lives being put at risk, it's not in your head. And yet when we speak up, we are dismissed, laughed at, and told that we are overreacting. It's a deliberate attempt to make you doubt what you know to be true, to keep you silent, to stop you from resisting. It's gaslighting, pure and simple. We are recognizing it, we are naming it, and we will not be discouraged or impacted by it.
Would it be okay if I were to tell you that I am afraid someday? So I call you up and you call me down. Would it be okay?
Well, hello and welcome to the FreedHearts podcast. My name is Robert Cottrell, and I'm here as always with
Susan Cottrell.
Hi.
Hi.
Hi, everybody. Welcome. As always, connect with us at freedhearts.org. That's the home for everything we do. By the way, beloved, we are a listener-supported podcast. There are no ads here. We don't monetize the podcast. We actually don't monetize our Instagram or our social media. We just don't want to get into that. So this is only possible through the support of people like you. If you have the ability to support us, please consider that. There's a link right on the page there that says support this show on Buzzsprout, or you can just make a donation through the freedhearts.org website. And if you're able to do that on like a monthly or consistent basis, that kind of evergreen long-term support means so much to us. It really helps bring this all to you. So thank you very much. So, and speaking of all social media stuff, geesh, whiz, shabam, I'm trying to curse. I'm trying to say stuff without curse words.
I was with you. I like that.
It doesn't feel right. So I won't even go there. We've had an explosion in our reach on social media over the past month. Or actually a couple months now. Our Instagram, which again, at FreedHearts, everything is FreedHearts. That's one word, FreedHearts. That's on any social media platform, Blue Sky, Threads, Instagram, FreedHearts. You can find us there at FreedHearts. But on Instagram, it's reaching millions of people every week. And we are thrilled about that. And we get tens of thousands of wonderful, supportive, positive comments. But, lots of buts here in what I'm about to say. I have noticed a trend, or is it asses? But I've noticed a trend from a few asses, especially on Instagram and on our Facebook pages. And I know some of you have noticed this as well because you've commented that our posts are being laughed at. There's this thing going on, and I think it's organized, but our posts are being laughed at with emojis. And these are posts about, for example, the fear that the trans community is feeling in response to all that's going on. Someone, ha, 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 does a laugh emoji.
Right, which is gaslighting.
You just took away my point. That was the punchline. That's okay. Yes, it is. We'll talk more about that in just a second. This happens countless times. Mm-hmm. And the other thing that's happening, and all these negative comments like, stop fear-mongering. Good job playing the victim card. Stop overreacting. You'll be fine.
Yeah.
And all of this started in late January. It does seem organized, as many of the comments are cut and paste, and they're happening consistency every day on an ongoing basis. And I'll glance at some of the profiles from these people, and they have some common elements. And I'm not making any judgments here on any particular fashion statement or anything here, but they have common elements. They're usually white men, usually wearing baseball caps. Mm-hmm. They have either American flags or guns prominent in the profile. And by the way, just a little aside, and a personal ask for your love and support on that, there have been some threatening comments as well to us. I wouldn't even restate them. But some seriously threatening comments, and we do report those. But send happy thoughts in our way and love and support. We'd appreciate it. And they're often newish profiles, 80 friends, 60 friends, 30 friends, 110 friends. They're very, very similar. Beloved, you just heard it from a reliable source. This is gaslighting, pure and simple. And Susan, can you define gaslighting in case you don't know what that is? Even use the movie or something to.
Well, yeah, the movie Gaslight, way back with Ingrid Bergman and her husband. You may know this, but her husband would turn the lights down. They were gaslights at the time, and then she'd say, "Did the lights go down?" He'd say, "No, they didn't go down," and he would just make her feel like she was crazy.
Yeah,
that's where that comes from, and because he wanted her to go into an asylum, and he would have the house and the other woman.
So gaslighting is basically a tactic to make you feel like you're the one that's crazy, you're overreacting, you're
it's
wrong.
all on you.
It's all on you.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, and we're not going to buy that. There's a quote that says, "The road to fascism is lined with people telling you to stop overreacting."
Wow.
Yeah, that is true. The road to fascism is lined with people telling you to stop overreacting. But beloved, I want you to hear me say this loud and clear. You are not overreacting. You are not imagining things. The lights really are being adjusted, and you're being told, no, everything's the same. When you see policies, the rollbacks, the hate-filled rhetoric, and you feel that gut punch of fear, that's real. When your heart aches because you see rights being stripped away, protections being dismantled, and lives being put at risk, it's not in your head. And yet over and over, when LGBTQ people and the, community of outliers, especially our beloved trans family, speaks up, we're met with the same dismissive responses that Rob talked about. Oh, it's not that bad. You're just promoting fear. You have nothing to worry about. It's a deliberate attempt to make you doubt what you know to be true, to keep you silent, to stop you from resisting. This is gaslighting. We are recognizing it and naming it, and we will not be discouraged or impacted by it. It's not real. Their words to you that you're overreacting, all of that is not real. What's real is the gaslighting. That's what's real.
Yeah, that's an excellent point. Don't buy into what they're saying. Don't get defensive on what they're saying. If you realize what's happening, you don't have to say, "Well, wait, what do you mean the lights aren't turned on?"
You're not going to convince them.
Right,
yeah.
right.
You won't convince them.
That's right. There's a truth in all this that they don't want you to see.
Yeah, and from day one, this administration has systematically attacked the transgender and LGBTQ plus community. They've removed protections, encouraged discrimination, emboldened hate. They told trans service members they couldn't serve their country. They made it easier for doctors and businesses to deny care and services to LGBTQ plus youth and adults. They erased language that acknowledged our very existence in federal programs. They removed resource pages from government websites.
Yeah, it's and something just happened just a few weeks ago. I think that with Sarah McBride, who's the first openly transgender member of Congress, and that's when she gave her first speech. The leader or the person introducing her in Congress said, "I recognize the gentleman from Delaware for 5 minutes, Mr. McBride." And someone else in Congress, I forget this person's name, has been using the most horrific British-based slur about transgender people. And I won't even name it here because it's disgusting. But this kind of stuff that they're doing, they feel emboldened to do because of all this. So it's just, and then they have the balls or lack thereof to say to us, "Stop overreacting. What are you getting all upset for? You'll be fine."
I feel like we're voicing a lot of the negativity, and our point with this is not to buy it, to know that these things are real. We really just want to name what you're seeing and acknowledge it, that it is real. This
Right.
gaslighting you're experiencing is real.
Well, the threats are real.
Yes.
And
Yes.
when you point that out and the response from the other side is this stop playing the victim card.
Right.
Just don't even entertain that because it's just gaslighting.
Yeah.
It's just gaslighting.
Yeah.
This is real.
And people are losing health care. Trans kids are losing school protections. LGBTQ plus people are being dehumanized again and again. But every time we cry out, we're told we're overreacting. So I know that sounds familiar to you. We're not telling you things you don't know. It's what marginalized people have been told for generations. Black Americans calling out police violence. You're imagining things. Women fighting for reproductive rights. You're hysterical. Oh my God, that gets me. Immigrants warning about racist policies. Oh, that's not really happening, but it is happening.
Yep. I mean, gaslighting is a tool, a very often used, often very effective tool of oppression of the oppressors. And we see right through it, and we want you to see right through it. That somehow often will take the impact of because we don't
Takes the sting out of it.
They want to pick a fight. They want us to just get all frustrated with their stupid comments on that. But realize you're being gaslighted, and we can, it helps in all of that.
And it's designed to make you doubt yourself. This gaslighting is meant to keep you quiet, to keep you exhausted from fighting a battle you shouldn't have to fight in the first place. Yeah. It makes allies hesitate, wondering if maybe the attacks, on LGBTQ people aren't really that bad. It keeps people complacent while harm is being done and right in front of them. It strips you of community, which is a basic human need. It strips you of validation as a person, which is a basic human need. The attack is designed to strip you of everything that could help you and make you think you're the one who's crazy.
But hear me now. We are not crazy. We are not overreacting. We are not making this up. So what do? We keep speaking. We keep loving. We refuse to be silenced. We refuse to let them rewrite reality. We name what's happening. We tell the truth again and again and again and again and again, because truth is powerful. Truth brings light. Truth sets people free. We support each other fiercely. We come alongside each other. We join in community. We remind each other that we are not alone, that we are not wrong, that we are on the right side of everything that's good here. We support each other fiercely. And when they try to make us doubt ourselves, we stand together and we remind each other that we are seen. You are seen, you are loved, and you are not alone. And we never, ever, ever stop fighting for what's right.
Yeah, and I got an email recently from a woman who came out 40 years ago, she said. So, I don't know how old she is, but she said the things we had to fight for were just unimaginable. And what kept us going was knowing that we were in a long line of LGBTQ people who have had to speak up. I don't know if that's a comfort or not, but what she was saying was she's part of a long-standing community, and they have gone before you and they will come after you. And take heart in this people that you are, that are much bigger than you. There are many more people out there. It's a long history of LGBTQ people, and you are not alone.
Yeah. And we will, countless number of people, this entire community will never, ever stop fighting for what's right. Will never, ever stop fighting for you.
That's right. And last week we ended with a piece by Chris Kratzer, and I'm going to read that again. I'm going to read it this time. He's speaking to those gaslighting us, speaking to those in power who are only trying to increase their wealth and position, their power. So here's what Chris says to those gaslighting us. Don't think for a moment you're winning. Just because you see me frightened, just because you see me angry, just because you see me overwhelmed, just because you see me panicked, just because you see me breaking. Don't think for a moment you're winning. All your shock and awe, all your brutality, all your dismantling of the things and people you hate, all your cruelty for the sake of being cruel. Don't think for a moment that you're winning. Just because you're in control, just because you're calling the shots, just because you're getting revenge, just because you have all the attention, all the seats, and all the power, don't think for a moment you're winning, because no matter what you do, no matter what you cause, no matter what you build, no matter what you destroy, you've already lost because of who you are and what you've become. The side you've chosen, the evil you have embraced, the temptations you couldn't resist. Don't think for a moment you're winning. Everything you force, every law you break, every person you destroy, every victory you claim, every opportunity you exploit, every chaos you create, every evil you rationalize. Don't even think for a moment that you're winning, because what you see in me, the tears, the anxiety, the pain, the fear, the frustration, the crying, the mourning, the disgust, the discouragement, the raging, the resisting, the protesting, my jaw dropping, my heart breaking, my life scrambling, my middle finger rising. That's what love looks like when it endures injustice, hatred, and evil, because everything you count as weakness is actually strength. Everything you condemn as wokeness is actually goodness. Everything you rationalize as being godly is actually in step with the marching orders of evil. No, what you see in me is what love looks like in the face of your lovelessness. So don't think for a moment that you're winning. You can deport us all, send us all to the camps, take away every freedom, demonize our existence. You can burn democracy to the ground. You can erase us from the planet. But don't think for a moment that you're winning, because everything you do, everything you are, everything you become, everything you touch, the game is already over. The test has already been taken. The score has already been posted. The grade has already been given. Everything you say, every decision you make, every answer you give screams to the world, you're the one who's lost. God knows. History will tell it. Before you ever started, without even realizing it, God gave the exam, God saw the game, you had choices, you made a choice. And because of what you've become, because of who you are, don't think for a moment that you're winning. You've already lost.
Beloved, a reminder again to look for the Ezra Klein Show. It's a podcast, and listen to the episode called Don't Believe Him. It's very helpful, very hopeful. You will love that. Please search that out and find it. If you can't find it, email us and we'll give you a link. So, beloved, remember, you are seen, you are loved, you are not alone. And together, we never, ever, ever will stop fighting for what's right. We love you. We'll talk to you next week. Bye.
Bye.
Would it be okay if I were to tell you that I am afraid someday? So I call you up and you call me down. Would it be okay?
You've been listening to the FreedHearts podcast. We have extensive resources and vibrant, inclusive community for you at freedhearts.org. Please just come say hello. If you have questions, comments, or suggestions for the podcast, just email us at podcast@freedhearts.org. Audio engineering is provided by Luke Johnson. The music is provided by our daughter, Hannah Cottrell, who is Grammy nominated. You can find out more about her and her music at hannahcottrell.com. Please share, subscribe and follow on your favorite platform, and support us if you can. Thanks for listening.